I think developers are all worried about the wrong thing. And they think the main threat is AI writing better code than they can. And sure, that's a part of it. But the shift I'm seeing are business people becoming more technical and building useful things. Because most companies don't need perfect software, they just need anything that will increase their margins, generate more revenue, reduce their risk, or save their team time. And business people understand that way better than technical people do. I'm Mitchell Moses. I've spent the entirety of my career doing technical work. And now that I'm building and selling, I'm seeing the advantage business operators have over just technical people. The value is shifting away from pure implementation towards business leverage. And I think that matters a lot because that means the market will value two categories: people who are truly exceptional technically, orchestrating these agents, or who are business savvy but become technical and build useful things. And one thing I've truly noticed is how much technical people want to tell you why something won't work. They'll tell you why the architecture's wrong. They'll tell you why it'll take too long, why it will be unmaintainable, when the business people will make an unperfect solution that will solve the majority of their problem and generate more revenue. Business operators don't know the full stack, but they know exactly how to create that leverage in the current workflow of the company. So let me break down what I mean here, because technical people and business people think completely differently. And this all comes down to how they're trained. For technical people, it's a more about why things won't work. So it's best practices. It's if we implement it this way, it'll cause tech debt later. It's an architecture issue. We need to use this database instead of MongoDB. We need to host the website on our internal servers. We don't need to use Vercel. You know, they're thinking about security. They're thinking about reliability, all different kind of things like this. And I'm not saying any of this stuff is wrong. All this stuff is clearly important. But in relation to what the business values, most of the time, technical people are getting in the way instead of helping out. Technical people often treat imperfection as disqualifying, and they'll tell you why it can't work, why it doesn't cover all the edge cases, why we need another month, we need another 2 weeks to extend the project out to take care of these imperfections. Business operators think completely differently. They go, this solution will save me 10 hours a week. This solution will help us move faster and reduce the manual work we have. They know, okay, will this solution close deals faster? Will this have more client satisfaction? Does the solution help avoid hiring a person right now? And this is a completely different lens because technical people are trained to think, is this a good system? Business operators are trained to think, will this give us economic leverage? Because before, business operators could see this value clearly, but they couldn't act on it because there was a gate. And the gate was the technical team telling you why something couldn't work. They were at capacity. The solution will have to wait. So a lot of this was blocked by that build layer because business people understand exactly where margins getting burned, where they're spending too much money, where a solution isn't effective enough, where a close, imperfect solution put into the workflow here will save us weeks, hours. But building all that before required going through the technical team, and that bottleneck has disappeared. So that's what I'm saying is the real shift. AI generating code is just too simple. The real leverage here are business operators getting technical. And that means they can prototype faster, create internal tools, automations across their workflows. That means documentation, debugging, UI, everything across what they're doing currently gets easier. So now, someone that understands the business deeply, even if they get remotely technical, they can make large leverage impacts on an organization. Before, they had to wish something could get built, and now they can make rough demos in a couple hours. And this is a significant change. And I believe developers are underestimating how big of an impact this will be. I believe business people are the most dangerous in the market right now. Businesses don't need world-class engineering to create value. And that's the point here I'm trying to get across. And I think developers are underestimating this person in the market because they don't have that exposure to the business to know the business really only cares about making more money. And these people know exactly where the money is leaking. And again, companies don't need world-class engineering to create leverage and value. And there's a lot of money in this category, and I mean a lot of money. And the reason why this is all opening up now, because the cost to build just good enough software was so expensive. And now the cost of that is zero, that there's so many opportunities in the business to create this leverage. And with the leverage comes power. And this is what developers need to understand. Whoever is driving business value is going to be useful. And I noticed this in my thinking too. Over this past year, when I've been selling and building, I've realized that in my tech brain, I was going for perfection when a close enough solution gave enough leverage for the business. Technical people are trained to see all the reasons why something won't work. And again, it's not because they're dumb, that's how they were trained. You're trained from university to figure out why something won't work and how to make it perfect and get all these edge cases. But now that doesn't matter anymore, because a lot of imperfect things are still valuable. If something reduces that ambiguity, if it saves teams hours a week, if it gives clients better satisfaction when you're delivering, all these things can be imperfect and still deliver tremendous outcomes for a business. And the business isn't grading that you picked MongoDB over Supabase. They're grading that you created leverage and money for their company. And this is where I think the market is changing. And that shift is knowing where in the business workflow that leverage is. And like I really want to say here, I don't think developers are done. Not even close. I think there's hard engineering solutions out there that need to be accounted for. Hard, complex enterprise architectures, workflows, security. I mean, I could go on and on. In fact, I think truly elite technical engineers are needed now more than ever. And I just think that real issue is the middle, where you're technical and competent, but you don't understand business value. And that used to be a pretty protected position. I don't think it's that protected anymore, because you have AI compressing a lot of this routine workflows. You have truly elite technical talent in demand now more than ever. And then you have business operators becoming more technical, creating leverage solutions that you don't know how to make. So basically this, if your value is that I can code decent, but I don't have elite technical depth, I don't own business outcomes, I don't know who the buyer is, and you don't drive leverage decisions, then I think you should be nervous. So here's what I think. I think people very deep technically, safe. I think the people who know where value lives, know where the money waste is, and can get that technical expertise on the business side, have the leverage. And I'll be honest with you, developers, I believe it's way easier for a business person to pick up the technical skills than it is for a developer to pick up the business skills. I just went through it personally for a year, and I'm telling you right now, it's probably one of the hardest things I've had to go through, because you have to completely retrain how you think. Since you've went to school and since you've worked, you have been trained to look for why something doesn't work. And now a lot of value can be created in something that pretty much works. There's a lot of money in something that pretty much just works. And that's the one thing I would like to say to developers out there, is that you need to learn this. And it's not because they build better systems, it's because they build more useful things that actually generate business value. So if you're technical out there, here's what I would recommend. You either need to go extremely deep technical, you need to be the go-to guy on the team, you need to be solving all the hardest, most difficult problems, or you need to get much closer to the business. You need to learn where money lives, where waste piles up, and where risk actually lives. So to wrap everything up, I think if you're on that business side, you have a great opportunity here, where you have the most leverage in the market today because you understand where all the problems are and where the money is leaking. If you pick up any of these technical capabilities, then you are dangerous in the job market today. And you will be surprised how simple and easy it will be for you to pick up and use these things, because your solution doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to worry about architecture. You don't have to worry about where everything's saved. You just have to have those ideas and then attempt to make it, and it will make it for you. So get out there, go try some stuff. You'll be surprised. If you want to get technical enough to prototype, automate everything around in your business workflow currently. So the core view is this. For my technical people out there, you need to learn business value. You need to learn where money, time, and risk live. Stop hiding behind technical purity and understand buyers and operators. The market is getting harsher for people in the middle, so you need to be on either side, elite technically, or you need to be a business operator with technical leverage. If you're in the middle, this is where I'd be nervous. And I think over the next few years, this will become more and more obvious. Thanks for watching.